Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Heart of New Jersey podcast. I'm Kira, your host, and alongside me today we have Tom from Bridgewater Commons Mall. Welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm excited to dive into the mall and all that it has to offer. Do you want to tell our listeners a little bit about your role at Bridgewater Commons and what you do?
Absolutely. My name is Tom Kovacic. I'm the marketing director at Bridgewater Commons. My role there is everything about marketing, public relations, events, community engagement, all the fun stuff that
all the good stuff that gets it going.
About,
Yes.
I've been there for about 5 years now, and miraculously got a job there during COVID.
Oh wow!
So I came in at a time where there's a lot of uncertainty, but also a lot of opportunity. So it's been great ever since.
Yeah, I mean, ever since COVID, there's been so many amazing changes at the mall, and there continues to be till this day. So yeah, it's super exciting. And it's nice that you have the inside scoop behind everything. So we're going to get into a little bit more of that and, renovations, new stores, and some maybe exclusive sneak peeks coming up in 2026. So
cool. Yeah,
I'm excited. Do you want to talk a little bit about how the mall has kind of evolved over the past 5 years or so?
Yeah, absolutely. The mall's got a great history. We've been open for 38 years now.
Wow.
So there's been tons of evolutions, happening since then. We've been through some great times, some hard times, recessions, e-commerce booms.
Yeah, I was gonna say the online shopping.
And then, with the recent COVID, but coming out of COVID, is probably like our biggest evolution. I mean, what a test for a shopping center. I would say in the past, recent years, the biggest changes have been obviously, we had new ownership come in. Mm-hmm. Pacific Capital Retail Partners, is the current owner. And, they came in with a vision to kind of, they knew what the value that this property had. Yeah. Obviously, you have 38 years of built-in loyalty. There was just a tremendous value in that. And, you can't pay for that. You can do great advertising marketing, but that's all built over time, right? Yeah. So there was a lot of things that were already there. With their vision, they came in. There's an opportunity to modernize the space. There's an opportunity to kind of upgrade, the tenant mix that is currently there. Doing some, upgrading in terms of, the physical features, repainting, and refreshing the space. So those are some of the kind of things that have evolved in the past couple of years, but also our programming as well has definitely become a bit more authentic. You still have this, annual staples of, Santa and Easter Bunny, things like that. Exactly. So that's not going away. Those are timeless favorites, but when I came in, we upgraded the programming. We became a bit more authentic. I realized coming into the location that the community is like super diverse. Yeah. And so I just found tremendous opportunity that how do you come out of COVID? There's so many not-for-profits out there that were kind of looking for exposure, help in any way, and and I was looking for programming. Yeah. So what a perfect match, having like you're looking for space and exposure, I'm looking for activations. Let's work together
the space.
On this.
Yeah.
Exactly. Let's make this work.
Yeah.
So awesome. So it's been a great couple of years, and we're not done.
Yeah. Still going. I mean, one of the biggest renovations. I grew up in Bridgewater, so I know the Bridgewater Mall. That was the place to be. Everybody was like, "What are you doing after school? We're going to the Bridgewater Mall." Like, that was what we did. But I remember the food court specifically being, I don't know if you know this, but it was half outdoors. It used to be, like, open. Yeah. So I was like, I remember that being, like, a huge renovation there. And now to see the way that it's evolved over time it's crazy. But I'm
a mall rat too, so I love things like that. That's where the social scene was, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it continues to be that place for people, which is so awesome to see over the years, especially now with all these new programming opportunities and everything. You guys have the robotics event. You have some other upcoming things that we'll get into. Do you want to go over some of like the different shopping, dining, energy, like how you pick, maybe not how you pick, but how there's different types of stores in the retail space? Yeah,
absolutely. So what our leasing team is really good at, and kind of, even our marketing team and really our team in general, is that, you look at the tenant mix, you're always going to look at how can we upgrade this? Yeah. So that's why you see, shops come and go, whether it's, a national decision, for closures, or it just with every closure is an opportunity to bring in somebody new,
Exactly.
fresh, forward thinking, and
Yeah.
kind of that's gonna resonate with the future generations, right? So, just to use as an example, you have the time and true, brands like Macy's are always, people love Macy's, right?
Yep.
But then we bring in a brand like Pop Mart, which is trending hot right now, and will trend. My kids have like 10 Labubus right now. They
my
know
God.
they know where I work, and it's
They're
hard.
like, Dad,
It's
I
really
know
hard
you
to
know where the
wallet.
Labubus are.
Right? She knows that I can't escape it. I go there every
Yeah.
day and I see them. So I think it's really about identifying kind of like the brands that you feel are going to be able to kind of overcome, let's say, another big like, COVID got
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
situation
Knock on
like
wood.
that. So it's kind of identifying who's got the longevity, who's forward thinking, who's really good working with omni channels, right? So
Yeah.
we're you could look at the online channels as a stark competition, or you could also look at it as the brands that know how to do it great online and at the brick and mortar level are
Yeah.
the ones that are going to survive and have longevity to it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, you want to look at things like that, like the Lululemons, the Alo Yogas,
Yeah.
they obviously do great online.
Yeah.
But
There's still people like me that want to go and shop
Exactly.
in store because I don't want to return things 1,000 times.
Right, exactly, and it's so funny because like I just really had a string of bad Amazon deliveries where I was
Yep.
returning back. I spent more time at Whole Foods returning stuff than actually
yeah.
buying stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that people love that kind of personal connection, and I think especially coming out of COVID, people were dying to get out and about and see
do
each other,
things
and so
yeah.
it's kind of like thank God that people came back, and so that's where my programming came in. That's
Yeah.
where, and if you even see it too, it's like you see like a lot of young people hanging out at the mall again.
Yep.
And
Which
not,
brings me back. It brings me,
Exactly,
it makes me
right?
so happy.
And not only that is that these young kids they're between, I'll say, the tween and teen market
Yeah.
are spending a lot more than
yeah.
ever, and they make it so easy to to spend
Just
now,
tap.
right, exactly. So I think, like I said, it's about identifying those brands who have that longevity, who have that sustainability, who are forward thinking, that are always kind of changing out their stores, and they're not getting tired with their look of their clothing and branding at the store. So it's about identifying all those things.
Yeah. And speaking about new stores, we have some new openings recently. You had Alo open, which is huge. I love Alo. Their clothes are amazing.
Yep.
Like beyond. But it's definitely more of that like higher end. And now we have Anthropologie kind of coming in. So do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So I mean, like I said, since Pacific came on board, they've really looked at the tenant merchant mix and kind of see where can we upgrade, how can we upgrade. There were a lot of great opportunities that came about in the leasing front. Like I said, like you mentioned, Alo Yoga opened up recently. Kendra Scott opened up recently.
Yeah, that's
Again,
huge.
I mentioned Pop Mart, Miniso.
Yeah.
So that's just, and then in the Village we had Millburn Deli. You have,
Which is one of my favorite places ever.
Yeah,
like literally, you can get something different every single time you go there, and it's so good.
It's always a line there.
Yeah.
No matter what time you go,
because it's so
there's
good.
always a line. So things like that, that are, some things are national, global, but then you bring in like a Millburn Deli that's like, that's a local kind of like favorite, right? So it's that great balance. Another fun one in February is going to be Popeyes in the food court. So
I know Lydia's
fried chicken
excited
fans,
about that
right?
one.
Yeah, fried chicken fans will love that. And it's gonna kill my diet.
Oh, God.
Coming out of the holidays, but
That's probably the worst part about working there. There's too many good options.
Exactly. So they're opening up, and then we're in the process of doing a press release now, just to kind of including those two, and that are that we haven't even named yet. So there's a bunch of more spaces that are going to come offline, which is great.
Can we get like a hint or like an inside scoop?
It's funny. I think it just flew over your head and you didn't hear it, but I'm
gonna have to watch this back.
Those are the things that are coming up. And again, it's going to be exciting, and we're inching closer and closer to filling all these spaces. And and again, coming out of COVID, deals don't happen overnight anymore, and so they took a long time before COVID, but it's a long process. And sometimes people say like, why is that level so empty? Like they're going down. I'm like, there's a
We're
lot
working
going
on
on
it.
behind the scenes
Yeah.
that people don't realize. They go to the, the ICSC shows and real estate
Yeah.
kind of conferences and stuff like that. So there's so much dialogue. And let's just say that on every space that we have there, there's at least 3 to 5 names that are potential targets
Oh, wow.
for each space. So there's
Okay.
constant activity happening behind the scenes. And
Is it like a bidding war kind of thing at that
Not necessarily,
point? Do
it's-
you guys pick?
right,
Are
exactly.
you like, I want you?
I think it is. It's like everyone does marketing. You
Yeah.
know? So it's like leasing's marketing the space. We're supporting leasing.
Yeah.
They're letting that potential client know what we're doing. Look at all the
What the
value we
need
bring.
is,
Look how hot the neighborhood is. Look how many people are coming in there. Look at the look at the demographics in there, and then showing them the space and then literally like painting a vision. Here's what your space could look like,
Yeah.
or we can take away this wall here and kind of make it expanded. So it's cool. The
Yeah.
whole back of it is really cool. Just
Yeah.
kind of see like how you can kind of like, but again,
Rearrange everything.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like you try to paint their brand in that space,
Yeah.
and so
Which I feel like Fogo, which is another new one.
yeah,
The space, I would have never imagined that you could fit an entire Brazilian restaurant in there.
Yeah.
It's amazing and it's beautiful.
yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Fogos
Yeah.
is just one of those kind of great brands that no matter what you order,
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, definitely. And it doesn't feel like you're in the mall either.
Yeah.
It's like a totally different experience, but you're still there. You're still near everything. You can still go shopping after.
Absolutely, and like to your point, like you mentioned too, it's like our goal is to elevate that retail mix. So you're going to see better brands coming in. They're still there's still going to be a balance of the true and tried kind of brands in there, and also mixing in our local leasing efforts. So we have like Zooted Vintage. I don't know if you've ever been there, but it's a veteran owner.
Oh, cool.
Who basically is selling gear from like the 90s, 80s,
Oh,
and all that kind of stuff. So and he's a local. So again, blending
Mixing,
the big brands with the small brands and the local brands it gives you a lot of options.
Yeah,
You know?
definitely. Can I pitch a brand?
What would be your pick?
Little Words Project.
Okay.
I don't know why. I feel like that would be great in the mall. Little
Well, there you
bracelet
go.
store. Your daughters would love it.
Well,
That's my pitch for them. Maybe they'll listen to this.
Well, now we'll have to look into that.
Yeah. So do you want to give a brief overview of, I know there's upcoming renovations we touched a little bit on, what people can expect coming into the mall in 2026?
Absolutely. And again, like one of the things that Pacific really was adamant about when they came in is keeping the character of the mall, but yet modernizing it.
Yeah.
So that way the comfort level's better, the visibility is better, and just the customer experience is better. So what that meant, recently we announced that we're going to do a refresh,
Yep.
of the site, and that includes, going with lighter colors in terms of lighting, in terms of paint, in terms of refreshing the food court, and other areas as well. So there's a number of different things that are in the works that people are going to start noticing. And one of the other things that I'm personally kind of involved in is kind of upgrading the digital experience there.
Okay, which
So
is awesome.
it's like digital directories and trying to do things more with QR codes or with,
More sustainable.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like how do we kind of those are easy ways to kind of upgrade the mall.
Yeah.
And, it's always going to be about the tenant mix, but
Yeah.
while people are there, we want them to feel comfortable.
Have a good experience.
Exactly.
Yeah. So do you want to talk a little bit about more events that are coming up at the mall? I know we have a seasonal event, which we were talking about prior to this, which is the fashion show.
Right. Go Red
Yes,
Fashion
Go
Show.
Red Fashion Show.
So that's kind of one of the big, the things how I'm heavily involved in the space is coming up with really great programming.
Yeah.
And again, my thing is to kind of the more authentic, more kind of local it feels, the more people are going to appreciate it and the more they're going to support it.
Yeah.
We have some great partnerships that we've created. Some of the things that I brought on board that was big in my kind of career was to, embrace the culture of the community. So, our Lunar New Year
Yes.
event has grown every year. It's
Yeah.
I'm running out of space.
It's awesome. Yeah.
It's really cool. So that's going to happen on the 21st of February.
Okay.
And then we mentioned the Go Red Fashion Show that's in partnership with RWJ University Hospital, Somerset. Fantastic partners, obviously tremendous, in the state. And So what that event's going to be on Valentine's Day this year.
Yes, which is special.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a heart month,
Heart
right?
month.
Exactly.
Heart day.
It's going to be a better time, right? So that's going to be, featuring doctors from RWJ, patients from RWJ, nurses, some guest VIPs, but all along the way, the whole message is about heart health, right?
Yeah.
But we make it fun.
Yeah.
So there'll be, music, there'll be, live performances, there'll be, everyone from age 70 down to
I was gonna
down
say,
to 4.
Yeah, you got all the age ranges in there. Yeah.
So it's going to be a lot of fun, and that's on the 14th of February, and then after that, we have our Easter photo opportunity 2 weeks before Easter coming up again. We're going to look into do more STEM. RoboCon will be coming back.
Yeah.
I'm also trialing.
Those have been getting huge.
Yeah, it's mall wide. It's I think the largest kind of STEM festival in New Jersey.
Yeah.
And we have great partners at Bound Brook. They're the brilliant minds who kind of help. They're the ones who really created the event, and I just assisted them.
You're like, here's the space.
Yes, and they knew more about the space than I did at the end. So
you're like, perfect.
They're all engineers. So that we're doing a lot of STEM. I'm also going to be trialing out a new event this year that really haven't announced yet, but it's going to be a great community initiative where there'll be a big give back at the end.
Okay.
So
when is that going to take place? Around?
Fall.
Okay.
Fall. So that's going to be coming
we'll
soon.
We'll be on the lookout.
Totally. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then outside of that, we're also kind of introducing a lot more third-party events too. So we just, last year we trialed one of those, like a Pokemon trading card event that was like really successful.
I've been seeing a lot of those pop up too.
Yeah. The TCG NJ, we're partnering with them to kind of do like a series of trading card events, which kind of brings in another whole audience there, right? So so we're trialing new things. We're going to see what works, but it just creates a lot of great programming.
Yeah, I mean, I think these events, in addition to the great programming that it provides for the mall and the community, it brings in a lot of outside visitors that maybe aren't familiar with this area. So I think that's definitely awesome.
We've seen like robotics. I mean, first of all, there's about, I think, over 15 schools from the region.
Oh, wow.
But we've seen people come in as far as like Pennsylvania, like really the western part of it.
Yeah.
And as far down as Maryland.
Wow.
So it's kind of become a real
Just
tri-state type of
event.
So it's great.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
What are some exclusive things that only our listeners hear? I know we touched on a couple things, but is there anything else you can give us to look forward to?
There's going to be more releasing announcements throughout the year.
Okay.
There's going to, like I said, we're in the process of doing a press release at the moment. So there's going to be more retail. There's going to be some more cooler events, popping up. But outside, I don't have anything specific.
Darn it! I tried, guys. I tried.
Good try.
Why would you say the mall is a must-place visit for people coming into Somerset County?
I think the malls. It's a true destination because not only are we in such a great location. I mean, just literally location
centralized.
We're right in the middle between two massive metro markets, right? Between New York and Philly. So what we offer is it's like if you're a traveler, I mean, we offer like so many great brands in one spot. So you don't necessarily need to travel far to kind of get your Pop Marts, to get your Alos, and to get your Anthros. So if you're traveling and you're kind of staying over at hotels right across the street, it's like, wow, boom, everything's in one spot.
Yeah.
So I think the variety and offerings that we have there gives you an opportunity to experience an event that you didn't really truly plan for, or maybe you did.
Yeah.
It also is, I think when people kind of come to the mall too, I think they don't realize that also like the exterior of the mall is actually gorgeous.
If
you go there in the springtime, there's tulips blooming everywhere. So
it's stunning,
there's a lot of kind of landscaping.
The sunsets there,
right. So it's like if you're doing a long drive, it's a perfect place to stop and grab some food, coffee, grab a couple of things,
walk around,
stretch out your legs, and take some sun in. So I think that, like I said, we try to make ourselves a really good partner as well. So work with teams like your like the partnership. We have big events coming up, right? Like the World Cup and things like that. So it's like we have space, right? How do we become one of the activations? And we're still trying to figure that out. But it gives us an opportunity to kind of be good partners on that end as well. So yeah.
Speaking of the World Cup, we don't have this in here, but is there anything you guys are doing World Cup wise or looking forward to?
Well, I mean, at the minimum, we're looking forward to like hopefully getting more traffic, right? From people that are kind of at the local hotels and stuff like that.
I think I saw something crazy, like 500,000 people were trying to get tickets, or I don't know, something insane.
Yeah, so that's it's a once in a lifetime opportunity for this area, right? So we haven't come up with that specific activation yet. I want to do something.
Yeah.
We have a center court. It could be a viewing kind of thing. It could be
cool.
Can't really maybe we could utilize our outdoors for some sort of a soccer kind of activation. But I personally am a soccer fan. I'm Croatian, so I'm rooting for Croatia.
For this?
I'm rooting for Croatia and the United States, of course. But so I'm looking forward to it. So we still haven't figured out that big idea yet, but
definitely going to be something there.
Yeah, it's again,
it's going to be a crazy time.
That and the 250,
there's so much going on.
This area's got a lot happening, so we're running out of time.
I know.
You just got to scare.
We're in the time. Yeah,
right, exactly.
We're here.
But I still want to at least do something, and hopefully we could.
Definitely, I'm looking forward to finding out what team's going to be in our area.
Well, I heard that Brazil got in is it Basking Ridge? They just announced that on. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, I saw it on LinkedIn. So I mean, it's just going to draw a massive crowd. To the area. So
definitely Brazil, Fogo. Hello.
Yeah, right.
Come to the mall.
I don't know if they might be like, hopefully they'll like our Brazilian version.
Like, this isn't
really. But yeah, no, it's great. It's all great news.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna go into a fun little segment of like your favorites.
This might get me in trouble.
I was thinking that. So you could maybe name more than one.
That's what's going to happen.
Okay, that's fine.
I love all my children. Let's just say that.
Everyone likes one better than the other. There's always a favorite. Yeah. Okay. So what's your favorite store at the mall?
My favorite store, I mean, personally, I do a lot of shopping at Macy's and Bloomingdale's.
Yeah.
But
I love Bloomingdale's.
The stores that I like to just pop into are like the fun stores, right?
Yeah.
Like Lego.
Yeah.
I just love going in there.
Let me see what's new.
I feel like
what's
a kid again.
Yeah.
We're always, doing trending stuff, and Pop Mart's always fun to just pop into.
Yeah.
And
get some more Labubu's.
I don't let them know that I go in there. I tell them like, no, it was closed today.
Yeah.
But I also like going into like again, I mentioned some of the smaller businesses like the vintage store.
Yeah. I need to pop in there. That sounds
It's really cool.
Yeah.
He's got like T-shirts there from like from when I was a kid and stuff like that. So I love a nostalgia, things like that. But I mean I love Alo stuff. They have some really awesome and Lulu's got some great menswear and stuff like that. So so there's a lot.
There's too many to pick from.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the best place to grab a bite?
Grab a bite. I mentioned Millburn is one of my favorites. I try to go in there with an empty stomach.
Yeah, you have to.
Fill up fast.
Yeah.
So Millburn's cool. My favorite kind of like go all out is Fogo.
Yeah.
You could just keep
fancy
eating for
dinner.
days.
Yeah.
If I wanted just like a chill type of lunch, I like Redstone.
Redstone's good. They have the best cornbread.
They do.
It's like a spice, like a honey spicy. I don't know what it is. It's delicious.
They do a nice job. That's just again, it's just like a. All of our venues, no matter like they're all just chill.
Yeah.
There's nothing too upscale. Even like Seasons, which is our more of our higher end. It's still comfortable.
Yeah.
And that's what I love.
You can still go in there, just grab a drink, hang out with friends, catch up.
Yep.
Yeah. Or make a date night out of it.
There you go.
Either or. What is a must-see spot people often overlook in the mall?
I'm going to go back to my previous answer of the outdoors, our landscaping.
I definitely agree.
I think our kind of green areas around the mall, they're underappreciated.
Yeah. I feel like definitely in the spring and summer months or the fall, like it's even nice to take a walk around the mall. You could go into where Millburn Deli is and everything over there.
Even just like the walk that, if you exit Fogo and you just go right across the street, we always have this massive bed of tulips there.
Right where it says like Bridgewater Commons, right? It's gorgeous.
And that walkway that goes over that little footbridge that goes towards, the village. It's really relaxing.
Yeah.
And I think that's definitely overlooked, because when people think mall, they think,
You're
parking,
inside,
shopping, eat, and get out of there, But that's what I love about our mall, is that it really is a relaxing experience. It's not, you don't get the hustle and bustle of the other malls. We're not like, we're right off the highway, but
it far feels enough like you're far enough away.
We're kind of like still have
you still have that nature aspect to it.
Yeah.
What is one word to describe Bridgewater Commons in 2026?
I would say the one word that comes to mind is elevation.
Yeah.
So I think, I mentioned a lot of ways that we're elevating the property, from the refresh, from the tenant mix, from the programming, from the, the continued kind of bringing in new stuff, the digital enhancements, our digital platforms are growing, really fast, and we're getting a lot more within trends and stuff like that. So I think across the board, our goal is to elevate everything.
Yeah.
And in the end is, the whole shopper experience is elevated.
Definitely.
So yeah, I think that's the best word I could describe.
Yeah, I like that word. That's a good one. Do you have any more final thoughts regarding the mall? Anything you want to share?
No, I just, I think my biggest thing is that, I personally appreciate, everybody coming to the mall every day. I love seeing the multiple generations from with grandpa down to, grandson, and then that grandson becomes a dad. And I see that a lot, and I hear that a lot. I love hearing the stories about, this is my first job here. And I hear that so many times, and it's so cool.
Especially growing up in Bridgewater and Somerset County. I know so many people that worked at the mall. Yeah. Like almost all of my friends. I did not, because I was not social. But right. But I was like, oh my God, that's such a fun place to like have a job.
Yeah.
To like be able to like have your first job there and walk around, spend your money, go shopping.
Right. Or even just like during Santa, like you see like I've seen when I first started here, he was a baby, and now he's got a little brother, and he's like the bigger kid. And you see them coming back every year. So I think that, that's my thing, is that I really, we appreciate kind of like every single person that comes in our door.
Yeah.
Without them, we're not going to survive another 38 years.
Exactly.
And, I truly hope that, that everyone appreciates and likes kind of the changes that they'll see in terms of, new shops and programming and stuff like that. But, I think that we really have a handle on what people love about the mall. So embracing that, and then just enhancing it.
Yeah.
I think you're going to like it.
I'm excited. I'm excited for Anthropologie. I'm not going to lie. Good. I'll pick a favorite.
You better be there.
Where can listeners find updates on things that are happening at the mall? What's going on?
I mean, our website is bridgewatercommons.com. I always tell people to go to our Instagram page, which is shop.
So is the up to date?
Shop Bridgewater Commons is our Instagram, and then Bridgewater Commons is Facebook. But the quickest news is on Instagram.
Yeah. But stories, most recent posts. Stay up to date with all the things.
Our social is great, and we also do a lot of giveaways and promotions there too. So
okay, that's a good one. All right. Well, thank you, Tom, so much for coming in.
My pleasure.
And I'm excited to see what 2026 has in store for the Commons.
Cool. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. Thank you.